In this video, I'm gonna take you through the 5 daily habits that I've used to lose 10% body fat and actually enjoy my life while I'm doing it. We're gonna walk through every single thing that I eat in a day to maintain high performance and low body fat percentage, and how you can implement these 5 daily habits to change your whole life. I don't know which one of these actually has eggs in it. Need all these eggs. Gonna get some eggs going here. One thing that you're gonna see throughout this video is that I prioritize ease over just about everything. So I do a lot of like single pan meals, just like throw everything into a single pan, make it as fast and as efficient as possible. Because I'm not trying to allow these things to consume my life. I actually wanna be able to like have my diet and the things I'm eating serve me in the other areas that I really care about. So I enjoy it while I'm going through it, but I try to keep everything as easy as possible. So breakfast, I basically have the same thing every single day. It's about 8:45 right now. I normally train from about 9:30 to 10. I'll do a run and then we'll go do a lift after that. So normally I'll eat around now 8:30, 8:45. Basically the same thing every single day. I'll do 6 eggs, whole eggs, bunch of protein, bunch of healthy fats. I will do some carbs from raw honey and fruit to get some just fast digesting carbs to fuel me up for the workouts. And I'll do some cottage cheese to get some additional protein in there. Super simple, delicious, and it'll get the day started on the right foot. If you've never thrown a banana in a frying pan before, you're missing out on life. So I do try to track macros during the course of the day. What I'm gonna try to hit by the end of the day is 225 grams of protein, 300 grams of carbs, and right around 70 grams of fat. So far, 50 grams of protein, very little carbs, and about 30 grams of fats. Okay, so finished tracking this whole meal. We've got 6 eggs, the serving of cottage cheese, a banana, kiwi, mango, and 2 dates, and then a teaspoon of raw honey. That all came out to 57 grams of protein, about 100 grams of carbs, and 32 grams of fats. Great meal to set me up for the day. That brings us to habit number 1, prioritize protein. One thing you're gonna notice as a common theme at every single meal that I eat during the day is that protein is at the center of every single plate. In this case, I've got my 6 eggs and the cottage cheese. As we get out into the day, I'm gonna have some meats. You're gonna notice that protein becomes this common theme that I keep coming back to. A good ballpark guidance is to aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight for someone who is training consistently and physically active. Given I train a whole lot in terms of my running and all the lifting that I do, plus I've been doing this for a long time, for me, I aim for about 1.2 times my body weight in grams of protein per day. So that's gonna be about 225 grams of protein. I don't worry about being slightly over that. I generally never end up under that. If you're not training quite as consistently, 0.8 grams per pound is a good starting point and a place to get to. If you're really trying to improve your body fat, you're trying to improve your aesthetics, one of the first things that you need to do is make sure you're getting enough protein during the day, because you are simply not going to be hungry enough to binge on the things that are derailing those goals in these other areas. Normally my breakfasts are significantly less peaceful than this because I've got a 3-year-old running around terrorizing the house, but my wife and son are out of town spending the few days with some family, and so I'm having a nice leisurely, peaceful breakfast. While I eat healthy stuff, I watch videos of people eating unhealthy stuff to make me feel better about my life choices. Walking over to the track to get this supposed speed work in, but it is 9:49 a.m. and it is currently 97 degrees out. Disconcertingly hot out right now. I'm not sure how we're gonna get through this. Milk was a bad choice.
All right, plan was to run around the track, but the track was closed because they're resurfacing it. So we ran around this turf, which again, turf is like 10 degrees hotter than the air on any given day because of how the rubber in it reflects the heat or absorbs the heat, or I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but it's hot. So we ran 2 miles, nice and easy. Heart rate probably 30 beats per minute higher than it normally would have been because of the heat. But we got it done. Gonna go in and get this lift in now. I do think, and I will say, that when you're traveling a lot, or if you eat out a lot, doing the low carb, higher fat diet can be really effective and efficient. Because when you're eating out or when you're traveling, it's very easy to order foods that are low carb, high fat. You're just going to avoid, potatoes, rice, oats, fries, any of the fried foods, any of those things that are obvious carbs. But in my life and where I'm at now, given I cook the vast majority of my meals and I try to be home most of the time and I'm really dialed in on these macros, this is just what works for me. Habit 2 is movement. You're not gonna get to a low body fat percentage if you're not moving every single day.
Why you coming at me telling me to get in line? I can see the pride coming up out your eyes. I'm not surprised. How can I do this? You sound like Judas confide in the jeweler. I see mountain trying to move it.
So for training right now, on the lifting side, we're doing a push-pull legs split, meaning on push day, we do chest, shoulders, triceps. Pull day, we do back, rear delts, biceps, and then legs is the legs. We're doing basically, when I'm home, about 6 days a week. So maybe one off day a week. That's the day when I do my longer run. So for running, I'm pretty much running every single day, but most of the days are light, like what you saw earlier, 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles. And then on Saturdays, I'll do a much longer run, 20 miles recent week. It's very important that you prioritize lifting if you're focusing on your body composition and losing body fat. Everyone thinks that you need to do a whole lot of cardio to get really lean. It's just not true. Prioritize building muscle mass because that will drive up your natural steady state calorie burning when you have more muscle mass on your body. That allows you to stay lean without as much effort from just putting on additional muscle. And then on the cardio side, focus on zone 2 for your cardio. That's a lower heart rate, steady state cardio. You don't have to go crazy with high intensity interval training or these other crazy cardio workouts to get lean. If you get in 30, 60 minutes every other day of zone 2, more steady state cardio, and then you prioritize lifting 3-4 days a week, you'll be in a great position from your movement. Make sure you're moving 30 to 60 minutes a day as a baseline in some way, shape, or form. That'll get you to where you want to be.
Just got back from the gym. Gonna make this meal. Got a little sweet potato. I make these in the microwave because I'm lazy and it's much easier. It takes 5 minutes. I'm gonna do sweet potato, rice, and grilled chicken at this meal. So it's gonna be a bunch of carbs, a bunch of protein, and that's pretty much it. I order chopped up grilled chicken breast from a local meal prep company. It just makes my life way easier not having to cook this on the weekends. I can measure it out. There we go. This doesn't actually do anything, but it makes you feel more like a chef. It makes me feel like I got some Gordon Ramsay in me.
And I'm lonely for your pain. Children.
So habit 3 is carb timing. I really try to concentrate the carbs that I'm gonna eat during the day around my workouts. That's what feels best for me. I feel like when I eat carbs later in the day, too much, kind of like close to bedtime, it just makes me feel heavy. My sleep gets disrupted a little bit. So I really try to have my carbs earlier in the day, right around that workout. You saw the breakfast, which was right around 100 grams of carbs. The lunch here, tracking it between the sweet potato, the rice, and the raw honey, was about 115 grams of carbs. So on the day in total right now, I'm at 220 grams of carbs. I did have the 10 ounces of chicken, so that meal was 90-ish grams of protein. So for the day so far, I'm at 150 grams of protein, 220 grams of carbs, and 36 grams of fats. It's about 12:30. I've got 1.5 meals left in the day, and I'm in a good position to hit those total macros that I talked about earlier. I am gonna typically go for a quick walk after eating this meal, just given it's a heavier meal, higher in carb. I really like the feeling of going for a 10 or 15 minute walk. Scientifically proven to improve digestion, improve your energy levels in the afternoon, really helps me get over that afternoon slump that I used to have. Sometimes I'll have a coffee if I'm feeling a little bit low, but the afternoon walk really does the trick. So I'll go for a 15-minute walk, take a shower, and then I'll get up to my office for my afternoon working session and any calls that I have.
Habit number 4 is what I call the 90-10 rule, meaning 90% of the time we're going to be really strict, stick to our principles, and then 10% of the time we're gonna give ourselves the flexibility to have fun, to enjoy ourselves, to enjoy life. I'm gonna walk you through what a typical grocery haul looks like for that 90%, for the things that I'm eating on a typical daily basis, the meals that you've seen today, as well as just what I'm gonna be eating during the course of the week. So let's go do that now.
always opt for ease. As I talked about earlier, anything pre-chopped, anything that makes my life easier when I'm cooking, I always go that direction. Get some sweet potatoes. I like these. I think they're called Japanese sweet potatoes, so I always get a kick out of what they call them here, Oriental sweet potatoes. Pretty sure that's not politically correct anymore to use that word. I really like the whipped cottage cheese. I like the consistency much more. Greek yogurt, let's get the 0%. It's 93% turkey. I'm not gonna eat beef tonight, but normally I do love this grass-fed. Burgers, ground beef.
90% fat, 10% protein. It's good.
Vital Farms. Pasture-raised eggs.
Pasture.
Is that how it's pronounced? I do like when people mispronounce words on purpose on social media to get engagement.
This is private equity Sahil right here on every meal.
This goes back to my point on ease. This isn't ideal, but I'm gonna make my life easier. Just get some stir-fried veggies.
Ooh.
Got the sauna out here in the back every night, 20 minutes on about 2:30. I bring some reading in. Nice way to unwind at the end of the night. 379. This whole thing will be done in under 10 minutes from start to finish. Get the whole dinner done. Normally my family would be here with me, so I would make that whole pack of turkey. I'd probably make a second pack of vegetables. I'd obviously make more potatoes because I'd be for my wife, my 3-year-old, and myself. But since I'm flying solo this week with my family out of town, it's just this. I personally think that the quicker I can get this done so that we can sit down and enjoy some time together, the better. So like I said, I try to keep things as easy as possible. We're not huge on novelty in this household when it comes to these meals. I try to basically eat the same thing every single day. We really like these meals. I really enjoy them. I think they taste good. So we just keep it simple. As you can tell, presentation is not something that I highly prioritize. I like this stuff. A little bit on this one, and a little bit of that Polynesian from earlier. Sit down, walk through the macros. I gotta get screenshots of all these macros from these different meals so that I can send it to you guys. Okay, so dinner here, as I mentioned earlier, is gonna be a little bit lighter. Maybe it doesn't look that light, but it's a little bit lighter than the other 2 meals of the day. I've just got 10 ounces of ground turkey, that's 93% lean. I've got 380 grams of sweet potato, and then some just mixed veggies, the frozen veggies that I threw in there. I typically don't track veggies. It's so low in any carbs that it's sort of like trace carbs to me, so I just don't track it on here. If I was like a bodybuilder and I was trying to get dialed into the ounce, it would have to be different, but in this case, I don't track that. So 10 ounces and then the 380 of sweet potato gets me 60 grams of protein, about 70 grams of carbs, 20 grams of fats. So far for the day, through these 3 meals, I'm at 210 grams of protein, 290 grams of carbs, and about 57 grams of fats. So in that last meal of the day, which we're gonna talk about when we get close, which is kind of my dessert, I'm basically gonna be trying to fill in that hole. I'm probably, given where I'm at today, gonna be a little bit over on protein and maybe a little under on fats, slightly, but we'll see where we land after we get through. 6 p.m. It is still 100 degrees out. 230 degree sauna for 20 minutes. Why not? Out of the sauna, showered, winding down my day. I'm gonna have a last treat, dessert, which brings us to habit number 5. Indulge intelligently. I like to have something sweet to end the day. I know that about myself, but I want that sweet thing that I have on the vast majority of days to be part of that 90% that we talked about, part of the healthy thing that doesn't derail me from the goals that I'm trying to meet aesthetically, physically, performance-wise, all of the above. So I'm gonna create what is a healthy, sweet treat that you could have on any given night and not need to feel bad about it all because it's high in protein and it helps you actually hit the macro goals that you have. All right, so to finish the day, I forgot that Greek yogurt has carbs in it. So now with this bowl, I went 10 over on carbs. I was trying to be perfect. I measured it out to a T, and I forgot that Greek yogurt has carbs. So I normally take this dessert up and enjoy it in bed, read a book, do something light before passing out. Please let me know in the comments what questions you have. I'll be responding to those as we go. And as always, until next time, stay curious, friends.